Let's work on finding a neutral pelvis and a neutral rib cage so that we have a cylinder which is stacked. This will help us heal our diastasis recti, allow us to get our core strong, manage our pelvic floor function as well. So this is a pelvis. These up here are your hip crests, and I want you to also feel your hip crest. Find a nice firm chair, and we're going to explore moving our pelvis to find what your level is and what your neutral is. Right? No one has perfect posture, but we want to find the place that's the most balanced for you, right? So a lot of times in pregnancy, we go towards this anterior tilt, the pelvis gets wider, makes space for baby, ribs flare up, right? And then posterior, we start to go underneath and tuck under because our glutes are having to take over for our abdominal muscles. Right? So when they get stretched out and weak, it could be after baby into postpartum, we start clenching and jutting under as a compensation. So let's find neutral. Come on your chair, and I want you to put your hands on your hip crest and go ahead and rock from side to side. So you really feel your sit bones, the bottom of your pelvis. And then I want you to go ahead and tilt. Find that anterior tilt where you're tilting forward. You could lean forward a little bit, and I want you to send your breath down and experience where that breath happens. Then I want you to tuck under, rock towards the back of your sit bones. Your ribs might come in and down, and I want you to take a breath here, right? Inhaling and experience where your breath is in your pelvis. One more time. So come forward, right? So we're in this anterior tilt. Everything's dumping forward. Right? Now, some of us, this may have been a pattern that we had even before we were pregnant. So this is a great opportunity to learn and go a little bit deeper. So this is our anterior tilt. And as you breathe in, I want you to notice you're breathing down into really the front of your pelvic floor. A lot of breath is going out, which is really hard on that linea alba, which is what we're trying to heal with our diastasis recti. We're trying to knit that back. So if we're in this position and we're breathing, we're here throughout the day, our exercises, this is a lot of pressure going out, okay? So now let's tuck under and feel that. So now we have the ribs, when we're tucked under like this, there's a lot of pressure on the back side, the back part of our pelvic floor, as well as our back, and our ribs tend to collapse down, which again puts a lot of pressure down into our pelvic floor. And if you try and engage your core here, it's really hard because you're already in this tight and contracted state. We need a muscle that can get long and short in order for it to get strong. So come back and find what for you feels like neutral, okay? Use your hands. I want you to feel your sit bones and finding a nice level pelvis. And it might take a little bit of practice, right? We breathe in, we feel the whole pelvic floor widen and soften. As we exhale, there's a little bit of a lift. Now the rib cage is the other top part of that cylinder. So we could have a level pelvis, but maybe our ribs are stuck in a flared position, or maybe we're in this gripping position where they're stuck narrow and down. So we again explore going to that end range where you're super flared or you're super tucked, and see if you can find neutral, where this is level on top of a level pelvis. Spend some time breathing here, feeling into that, what that looks like. If feeling it with your hands feels a little bit elusive, grab a mirror, use your camera, take a picture and see. So this becomes more habitual, because once you can master it seated, you'll be able to start doing it throughout your day, through your exercises, and it's really going to help you heal that diastasis.